So it's good having nice young energy out there. So feeling good right now.
What's the number one thing that guys ask you? They know you've been around forever in this system.
More just like little tips, little kind of what were you looking at here? Why did you do this? The whole 9 yards. And I try to tell them everything. Even some of the D-line guys will try to pick my brain, and I'll tell them what I'm seeing so that they can see what it looks like from my perspective. So as a team, we're overall getting better.
What would you tell an incoming freshman about Jim Mahalchik?
I would say get your nose down, start grinding in the playbook, because once you learn the playbook, that's when you can dial in your technique, and it goes playbook then technique. So if you flip those, then you're going to get caught in the tidal wave and you're going to drown. So
how long did it take you to learn that about him?
Probably 6 months. There was a certain time where I kind of try to connect it to old stuff that I knew, and then eventually I said, screw it, I'm going to just start fresh, start new, and then take it from there.
Coming in as a walk-on and then getting to where you are now with the honors you've received, what does that tell younger players about sticking to it, the grind?
Just work. I mean, if you believe in yourself and you got people behind you like my parents that believed in me, anything's truly possible in this world. So I think just work, believe in yourself, and don't get discouraged when things don't go your way. As long as you keep hammering, keep going, things will work out.
How hard is that to do? Is that where a lot of guys go south?
It gets tough. There's some days where you kind of question what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing, the whole 9 yards? So there's going to be hard, rough spots, but as long as you keep pushing, keep fighting, you'll survive.
You've been a part of a lot of offensive lines. When do you know that a group's going to be okay, and how?
I think the camaraderie and the togetherness of a team is what separates them. Because at this level, everybody's talented. We got talent just like the next team. But a team that can truly play together, and you can call each other out and say, hey, you were wrong on this play because of this, this, and this. When you do that and you can respond the next play, that's when I think that a team can truly be special.
Can you tell that yet, or is that something you can't tell until you get thrown into it on game
I
day?
think we're there. I think as a group we're tight, we're close. Obviously we're together all day, every day. But as a group, we enjoy being around each other. We enjoy this grind of camp. And I think we're at a spot right now where we can call each other out and hold each other accountable in order to take that next step and keep building, stacking days.
How does it compare to the group you were on at Georgia State?
I think it's pretty similar. There's more new guys here, but I would say with the new guys and the guys that have been here, there's a gel that we're a tight, close group.
What's the chemistry been like with Aiden and your group? Is he taking you guys out to dinner?
He took us out to dinner in the spring or the winter. He hasn't again, but it's a good group. He likes to come over when we're in stretch lines and kind of shoot the breeze, the whole 9 yards. So it's a good group. Tight
Where
group.
did he take you? Did you run up the bill a little bit?
He took us to Capitol Prime. So
That's good.
Yeah, I personally didn't, but I felt bad for him, paying for 20 guys, but his choice.
So who has better hair, you or Coach Leggy? And could you switch for a week?
So I used to have long hair, and then I cut it. He's just kept his growing, so now I got to catch up to him. But yeah, he's kind of my role model in the hair department.
What did you see from those guys that were there in the spring but are back now in terms of kind of learning the offense in the spring but then putting it into practice?
I think they're kind of taking the next step. I think it was kind of like a rough draft in the spring, but now stuff's starting to make more sense, and it's starting to happen faster for them, and they're starting to make decisions on the fly more. So I think it's progressing in the right way.
And what does Luke Newman bring to the room?
I think he brings a lot of experience, a lot of high-level play. I think he's a really smart player. I think he's picked up the playbook extremely fast. And also, it's just another set of eyes. He's played a lot of ball, just like everybody. So he kind of has, like, asking him, hey, what'd you see here? Why'd you do this? And I'm like, oh, okay, now I see that. So it kind of helps elevate the football IQ of the group, which is good.
With the second scrimmage, what do you want to see from the first to the second?
I just want to see some more movement up front and just some more energy. I feel like we kind of were a little flat and then picked it up towards the end, but I want to start hot and keep that same high the whole way through.
You've seen Akeem Johnson out there, obviously an athletic kid.
Yeah.
It's obviously tough to play as a freshman, but what do you see from him?
I think he's a hell of a football player. He's a great athlete. I think he's picking up the playbook at a good pace. I think he's, like you said, athletic ability's there. I just think coming from high school, there's obviously going to be a technique difference, but every day he comes in with a great attitude, great work ethic, and he's always there to keep improving, and he has. So I think he has a really high ceiling.
You guys do a lot of cross training in different positions. Does it help you? I mean, obviously it helps you. Like, you see when someone gets injured, you guys can flip that and whatnot. But big picture, how does it help you as an offensive lineman?
To me, I think it helps because you kind of understand the whole picture. Obviously, it's important to know my job and what I'm supposed to do on this play. But if I know what the tackle has, it can kind of better understand the whole picture. So if they're bringing up pressure, we know how we are going to adjust, not just how I'm going to adjust, how all five are going to adjust. It also helps you get on the same page as everybody on the O-line.
What's the best feeling as an offensive lineman? Is it when you are rolling down the field, running the ball? What's the feeling when you inside it just feels like this is?
Me personally, I like a nice 15-play drive that caps off with a touchdown. In my opinion, I like dragging them to that deep water and letting them find themselves. So it's not explosive plays are fun. Don't get me wrong, but I like a nice. Just keep jabbing them. 15, 5 yards, 10 yards, 15 plays later, and then we score. I like that.
How early in a game do you tell if you've got the defensive line on their heels, like this is going to be something where you're winning that matchup? Is that something that you wear them down into, or is that something usually you can tell in first?
I think you can kind of get a feel for players towards the beginning, but you don't know until they're broken until the end of the game. I think everybody has their breaking point, but at the end of the game is when you know, hey, I got the best of him today, or he got the best of me, but we still won. You never know.
How are you feeling about that defensive line? Coach Lange seemed kind of more optimistic than maybe.
Yeah,
I would assume, given some of those guys on the inside are.
No, I think they get the best of us some days. We go back and forth. They're a hell of a football group. They have complementary players, and I think they've got some guys that can go in there.
Are you surprised that they're as good as they've been?
Seeing the transfer guys coming in, yeah, just because I haven't seen them. But the guys that are here from the spring, I knew that they had some stuff to them and that they could play high-level ball, and they did nothing but exceed my expectations of what they got. So,
Who gives you the most problems?
who gives me the most
Who do you like
problems? I like going against Daquan because I think he has the nice mix of he's low when he comes off the ball and he's got that power and speed. So he makes me play at my best, and I'm hopefully and pushing him to be at his best, so it's good competition.
With him being 15 pounds heavier or whatever he was in the spring, do you notice that? I mean,
Having what?
he's a little bit heavier now.
Oh, yeah, I haven't noticed. He was hard to move back then as he is now. So.
You get to spend much time outside the football building around town. What do you like to do around here?
So far, this month, haven't done much. We took an O-line trip out to Holland, which was pretty fun. First time seeing that and experiencing, like the lake life and all that. So, other than that, going out to eat a couple places. Oh, yeah.
Are you enjoying the leadership role? I know you're a little bit more quiet than maybe some guys, but are you kind of embracing that? You feel pretty good about it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm kind of the type of leader that if they ask me for something, I'm all there for them. So Coach Emma's kind of challenged me to kind of just say stuff, don't have to be asked to say something. So I think that's been a nice challenge for me, and I think I've been taking the bull by the horns there.
What are some of your goals like individually going into the season?
Individually, I think to lead this team to just go 1-0 every week. I think, to me, personal achievements are kind of overplayed, in my opinion. What I want is just a winning program, get this program back to what it was, and leave it better than I found it, in a sense.
What have you thought about Luke and kind of his integration process coming from Holy Cross and then not having to spring and having to kind of learn on the fly and maybe be a little rusty after 8 months off?
I think he's hitting it in stride. I think he's an extremely smart player that has learned this playbook very quickly, and he brings a lot of experience to the table, and the way he sees things is different than the way I do. So it kind of helps me increase my knowledge of the game, and he's helped the group overall increase the knowledge of the game and kind of what were you seeing here? Why did you do that? All that stuff.
The offensive line is like one of the question marks heading into. I mean, there's a lot of question marks heading into this season, I guess, but specifically with like the depth and just the capability of it and all. Just how do you feel about how comfortable are you with the guys that you have that would be a strong point?
I feel very comfortable with them. I think I trust them, and I think they trust me. And I think every day we've taken a step and just inch closer to where we need to be. As right now, we are not where we need to be, but every week and every day, we just need to keep getting closer and closer to that final goal. And I think we are in a good spot. I trust the guys next to me. They're playing at a high level, and I want to push them to play at a high level. Then it pushes me to be at a higher level so we can take this team to the next level.
How are you feeling about the chemistry between the tight ends and the line, just the entire run game operation?
I think it's good. I think having Jack's nice, just so because I could talk to him and kind of feel him out in the room. But I think they've taken a step too. I think overall they're doing a great job, and I think that that's a great addition that we have in this offense is to be able to run with tight ends as well as pass the ball. So keeps the defense honest.
I'm sorry if you were asked this already, but obviously with your previous past relationship with Aiden Chalice, just what have you thought about his ability to step in and kind of know heading into this year that he's supposed to be the number one guy and just his adjustment to that?
I think he's the same as when we were at Oregon State. I like it because he doesn't change himself. Here it's a bigger name and he's the guy and all that, but he hasn't changed who he is, which I like because he doesn't need to be Superman. I just need Aiden Childs on Saturday.
Would you say he's like the same guy? Like how would you describe his demeanor, just the way that he goes about his business, I guess?
He's goofy. He's always joking around, but at the same time, when it's time to lock in, he's ready to go. So I like it because that's kind of the same way I am. It's like when it's time to have fun, we can have fun, but once it's time to go, we're locked in, we're ready to go. I think he's a great motivator. I think everybody on the offense loves his energy and just feeds off of it.
I mean, has there been a moment this fall camp where you've seen like just another level to him, whether it was a bullet that he threw or a run that he had, or compared to a year ago?
No. I'm trying to think. I think he's more mature in the game and he's kind of seeing stuff faster is what I would say, but his running ability, we all saw that at Oregon State and it's second to none and he can tuck that ball. So I think it's just a normal progression for him of being more experienced in this offense and knowing and expecting what's going to happen.
Going from the Big Ten to the Pac-12, it's a different type of schedule. Like how big of an adjustment is that to you to facing Big Ten teams, besides Oregon, a bunch of teams you haven't faced before?
Yeah. How I look at it is I'm just focused on the task ahead. Yeah, we got a gauntlet in the middle of the season, but we take it one game at a time, one practice at a time. That's what we need to do in order to be successful.
Like what are some of the games you might have struggling? You have Oregon, your old rivals, and then of course you have Michigan coming up the national championship season. Where are some of those games that stand out?
Personally, I'm excited for all of them because the only team I played is Oregon. So I'm going to new places, facing new teams, facing new D coordinators, new guys. So I think it's going to be a fun time.